So, everybody know that the Hurt Business recently lost Raw Tag Team titles in the most recent episode of Monday Night Raw. Rhea Ripley supposedly supposed to make her debut the night after Fastlane of Monday Night Raw. After constant vignettes over the last 3 to 4 weeks. So there's been a reminder that Rhea Ripley is a prime call up. Don't know what SmackDown's doing. I mean, they're a better show, but they barely have any young talent that's perceivably coming into the brand, other than Chelsea Green when she got hurt. So technically, there's not much to even sneak out of. Then there was constant teasers and rumors over from last year that Velveteen Dream would be making his debut on Friday Night SmackDown, supposedly over recent news updates, and of course his current reputation that I don't think it's going to be happening quite a long time. Other than that, let's continue to the video. Uh, the Hurt Business has been one of the most primitive positives on Raw, and I'm going to go over the positives and a few of the negatives. Obviously, I'm not going to try to review one. I don't hate the Hurt Business, but I don't think it's great. Their business is that great. It's supposedly. The Hurt Business are good over a few concepts. They're not cartoonish. They have a specific style that majority of them work with. Like we all know the powerhouse of the group, Lashley, that has the speed and athleticism and majority of strength. We have the primitive talker, experienced technician, strong-armed freaking leader of their business, and the hype piece of all of this, MVP. You got the veteran athlete out of Shelton and the young athlete out of Cedric. Only two of these guys are actually important because to both of them look like stars. One's a great one on the mic. One is a great one in the ring with a primitive look, still looking great in like his mid 40s. Uh, Seriously, Cedric and Shelton wouldn't be enough without these guys. They don't have their own personality or gimmick to stand out or that much of technical importance. It would be nice if they add an additional group because they're not the Four Horsemen. Many people compare them over to Evolution, even though there's a lot more to edge out. There's a bit more prestige over on Evolution than we have over for the Hurt Business. Uh, Saying how much of the reputation, how much of the what they look, and what these guys actually have going for them for the future and the past and the present. It's a good fitting faction for the best place in the right time over when there isn't over what looked like the best year for SmackDown and Raw needing more legitimacy over a big faction over with a big star with a guy always to try to that's a superstar that needs to get the other guys over. So that's why Evolution's a bit more primed over is like one of the best things to happen. But the worst things to happen technically for Ruthless Aggression I thought that they were cool, in my opinion. I thought there was nothing wrong with the evolution. They were a prime group to go ahead. They always had a stream of importance when it came to pay-per-views like uh, Bad Blood, Backlash, and Armageddon. Especially back when they grabbed all the titles. When I remember back in '03, I think it was Mike. I think no, it was '04. Triple H and Shawn Michaels had that Last Man Standing match and the Hell in a Cell match, and they were always a prime part of looking professional, having the resume and the look to seem professional and always be like catch your attention because you have like multiple prime talkers with a good athlete with a young potential in his mind, and you have a big powerhouse that looks like a future big star of the company. That's what made Evolution so good. And I really feel like Evolution is not put up to higher pedestals before for big WWE factions, because of course we got DX. Um, Even though like out of many homegrown factions, like the ones that are like put into high pedestals are Shield and DX. Not technically the NWO because that's WCW, or the Four Horsemen, even though that's like NWA to WCW. I feel like Evolution should be in a higher pedestal because without this, we wouldn't have guys like Randy Orton and Batista today. So I guess that's like higher appreciation. Except most of the guys in Hurt Business are out of their prime, especially Benjamin. The only person you can make over to a legit star is because Lashley can still go and still looks good for his age. And Cedric doesn't even have a technical personality and has no inefficient skill. I mean, the guy can sell. He can bump like a mother effer. The guy works fine, but he just doesn't have any deficient character to work off. Like if we put Apollo in the Hurt Business, because he actually has a legacy with him. Uh, Nigeria being Nigerian descent of royalty, and we can work over that. That he looks like a star, treats himself over as a star, and thinks that he's better than everybody else. If you can work with something like that, I can't work with somebody like Cedric. And Paulo can actually do high flying moves as well. So I don't know how Cedric gets the better deal because he's also black. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm not trying to push over the race card that much, but yeah, and Shelton. I mean, I love Shelton. Shelton makes up a bit of it makes up a lot of my childhood while watching Raw, and he's still a good worker. Produces decent enough. Can be average over in the mic, even though he could be a bit bland. I mean, he's notable for getting his ass kicked a lot. Even though we remember most of his spots when he was IC champion and on Money in the Bank, but whenever it's like, oh, you mean that guy who tried to do some move off the top rope and he got super kicked by Shawn Michaels? That guy, or the stuff he did with his mother. I'm putting that in quotations because I know nobody's going to see me do this. So, yeah, uh, I feel like this is the biggest positive I have from watching 3 hours of complete garbage. Because at least they dress like complete stars. They actually wear suits, like professional suits. They have a good entrance theme. Carry themselves like they're a legitimate, real faction. I miss that type of old school way of producing like a faction. Like we kick ass and we look good doing it. I haven't seen stuff like that since possibly I'm trying to calculate. I'm trying to say like Fortune or like stuff from TNA or something like that. I mean, you could say like something like Strictly Business if you guys watch NWA, but they always wearing those stupid trainer coats, and the only guy who looks legit was technically Nick Aldis, or you know him as Magnus Bram. That's Thomas Latimer, and Royce Isaacs that looks like he was a sex offender. Other than that, I just miss this way of how factions can actually look professional while kicking ass. And her business are at least a legitimate positive. The only reason I wish they had was like more conceptual storylines to get more time over with promo time. A VIP lounge is more privy to feuds, especially involving the world title things. Lashley's going to be world champion for quite a long time. Possibly he beats McIntyre because you have a legitimate faction. You barely much of an establishment over from Raw. And we just have a random babyface holding it over, and you have Lashley not even feeling legit to even defend it over a Mania, and he comes around looking weak. What's that going to feel about Lashley, man? That would feel really bad if he just loses it at Mania, man. Because I've been waiting for this for quite a while. Even though Lashley's not over a primitive talker, at least he looks like a star. And nobody's going to put that into perspective because you think you just need to be a good wrestler by just doing moves off the second rope with tope suicidas and doing meaningless matches for like 25 minutes. So that's my opinion on the matter. That's my opinion on the Hurt Business. It wasn't negative. It wasn't a positive. It's just my full-on view on the team. I think this is a group. I hope this establishes what I feel about this over the last. When did this Hurt Business start? Like what? November? No, I think it was November or December of last year. And now they lost. Lashley has held the United States and WWE title in under a year while Cedric and Shelton became Raw Tag Team Champions. So they're at least they're come to gold. Hopefully they do a thing where all of them hold championships. Like Lashley holds on to the WWE title, MVP becomes like what another U.S. champion, like what a two-time or like a three-time U.S. champion, while Benjamin and Cedric win the tag titles again because we know how scarce it is. So I'm wishing the best so we can actually get some cool groups out of the current like dumpster fire that is Raw. That's what I got here. It was a negative, wasn't a positive video, but that's what I have. What do you think about the Hurt Business? Comment down below. Thanks for watching. That's it for me.